Do you ever find yourself stuck, translating word by word in your head every time you try to speak English? It's like your thoughts are trapped in traffic. You know exactly what you want to say, but your brain is too busy switching languages. And by the time the words come out, the moment is already gone. You're not alone. This is one of the most common struggles English learners face. And no, it's not because you're bad at languages. It's because almost all of us were taught to analyze English, not to actually think in it. But here's the truth. Fluent speakers don't tell you. They're not translating faster. They're not translating at all. They've retrained their minds to process thoughts directly in English. It's like switching the default language inside your head. Now you might be wondering, can I really train my brain to do that? And how do I even start? That's exactly what we're going to break down in this video. I'll show you how to recognize the translation trap and escape it. Shift your mindset so English becomes natural, not force. Train your thoughts daily with simple, powerful exercises. Build real fluency without memorizing boring grammar rule. Practice speaking in a way that makes English automatic. Even if you've been learning English for years and you still freeze when someone asks you a simple question, this video is for you. We'll also talk about common myths that actually slow your progress, like believing you need to master English before you can speak fluently. Spoiler, you don't. By the end, you'll understand that fluency isn't about knowing every word. It's about trusting your mind to think in a new language. You already have the ability. You just need to unlock it. So if you're ready to stop translating, speak confidently, and finally think like a fluent English speaker, you're in the right place. Let's begin. Number 2. Why translating slows you down. Let's start with the obvious question. Why is translating in your head such a big problem? Here's the thing. When you translate from your native language to English, your brain is doing double the work. First, it has to process the original idea in your native language. Then, it has to search for the right English words to express it. That takes time. And in a real conversation, even a 2-second delay can make you freeze. It's like trying to dance to music, but always being a beat late. You know the steps, but the rhythm's off. That delay kills your fluency. But the problem goes even deeper than speed. Translation creates mental pressure. You start second-guessing every word. Is this the correct tense? Is this word too basic? Will they understand me? And that pressure leads to hesitation, self-doubt, and even fear. Instead of communicating naturally, you're editing yourself in real time. It turns conversations into a grammar test. You're so focused on being correct that you forget to be real. And that's exhausting. But here's the truth. Fluency isn't about perfection. It's about flow. And flow comes from confidence, not translation. Now let's talk about context. Every language has its own structure, idioms, and rhythm. Words don't always translate perfectly. For example, in English we say, "It's raining cats and dogs." If you translate that literally, it sounds absurd. But to a native speaker, it makes total sense. It's about the feeling, not the literal meaning. So when you translate in your head, you often end up with weird sentences. Not because your English is bad, but because the thoughts behind it weren't in English to begin with. Think about how you learned your first language. You didn't translate. You absorbed. You guessed. You tried. And eventually, Your brain built connections between ideas and words without needing to switch back and forth. That's what we want to recreate in English. Another big problem? Translation becomes a habit. And like any habit, the more you repeat it, the stronger it becomes. Your brain learns what it practices. If you keep translating, you're training your mind to stay in that mode forever. And over time, that habit becomes harder to break. It becomes your comfort zone, even if it's holding you back. So what's the solution? The first step is awareness. You need to catch yourself when you're translating. Notice the habit, interrupt the loop. Then, start building the new habit, thinking in English, even for simple things. Name objects around you. Describe what you're doing in English. Ask yourself questions in English. The goal isn't to be perfect, it's to be present. To think in English, even if it feels slow or strange at first. Remember, this is a process. You won't flip a switch overnight. But with consistency, your brain will adapt. Just like a muscle, your English thinking gets stronger the more you use it. And the best part? Once you stop translating, everything becomes easier. Conversations flow. Vocabulary sticks, confidence builds. You stop studying English and start living it. So if you want to become fluent, you've got to let go of translation. Not completely, not immediately, but intentionally. You're not abandoning your first language, you're just giving English a chance to stand on its own inside your mind. Number 3, what it means to think in English. Okay, now that you understand why translating slows you down, let's talk about the next big question. What does it really mean to think in English? Because let's be honest, it sounds kind of mysterious, right? People say it all the time, but nobody really explains it clearly. So let's break it down. Thinking in English doesn't mean you suddenly start having deep philosophical conversations in your head like Shakespeare. It doesn't mean forming perfect, advanced sentences before speaking. That's not realistic, and it's not necessary. What it really means is this. Your brain starts to link ideas directly to English words without needing to go through your native language first. Let's say you see a chair. Instead of thinking silla in Spanish and then translating that to chair, your brain just goes straight to chair. Or when you're hungry, you don't think tengo hambre. You just think, I'm hungry. It's about making English your default mode for daily thoughts, reactions, and observations. And that shift doesn't require fluency. It just requires practice and awareness. Think about how babies learn to speak. They don't have translations. They connect objects, emotions, and experiences directly with words through immersion and repetition. That's exactly the process you're going to follow, just in an adult version. Here's another way to look at it. Imagine you're building a second brain inside your head. One brain operates in your first language. The other operates in English. And the more you feed that second brain, the stronger it gets. At first, it might feel unnatural. You'll reach for words and they won't come. That's normal. Your brain is still trying to use the old pathways. But the more you resist the urge to translate, the more new pathways form. And that's where the magic happens. Eventually, you'll notice moments where English thoughts just pop in. You'll respond to someone automatically. You'll describe something in your head without effort. That's what thinking in English looks like. It's not about complexity, it's about comfort. Now, let me bust a common myth here. You don't need to speak fluently to think in English. In fact, it often works the other way around. Once you start thinking in English, even in simple sentences, your speaking improves naturally. Why? Because you're training your brain to generate ideas in English, not just react. You stop being a translator and start being a communicator. You're not waiting for the right words, you're letting them come. Even just thinking simple thoughts like, I need to go to the store. Where is my phone? I love this song. That's thinking in English. No one hears it. No one corrects you. There's no pressure. And that's exactly why it's so effective. It becomes your mental gym, a safe place to train. So don't think you need some special ability to do this. If you can think in your native language, you can train yourself to think in English. It starts small. It starts now. And once it starts, it never stops growing. Number 4, mental shifts to stop translating. So, we've talked about why translating slows you down and what it actually means to think in English. Now let's focus on the part that makes it possible, changing your mindset. Because here's the truth. Fluency doesn't just come from practice, it comes from perspective. And if you want to stop translating, you have to start by shifting the way you think about learning English itself. Mental shift number 1. You don't need to translate to be understood. A lot of learners believe they have to find the exact word in English that matches their thought in their native language. But here's the thing, you don't need to translate perfectly, you need to communicate clearly. Fluency isn't about having the biggest vocabulary. It's about making ideas flow. If you don't know the word for bicycle, you can say, the thing you ride with 2 wheels. Is it perfect? No, but it works. It communicates. And the more you do this, the faster your brain builds connections with real English, not your native language. Let go of perfect. Embrace clarity. Mental shift number 2. Mistakes are not fails. They're proof you're learning. One of the biggest reasons people keep translating is fear. Fear of making a mistake. Fear of sounding foolish. Fear of being judged. But here's what fluent people know. Mistakes are fuel. They show that you're using the language. You're trying. You're putting yourself in the game. If you wait until your English is perfect before you stop translating, you'll be waiting forever. So start thinking like this. Every time you mess up in English, your brain learns something. Every pause, every error, every awkward sentence is part of the path. It's not failure. It's fluency in progress. Mental shift number 3. Your brain can adapt. If you let it, your brain is more flexible than you think. It was never designed to stick with one language. In fact, your brain is built for bilingual thinking, but it only switches into English mode when you train it to. That means the more you choose to think in English, even if it's slow or strange, the more automatic it becomes. You're not pretending to be fluent. You're becoming it, thought by thought. Mental shift number 4, identity. First, fluency second. Here's a deep one, and maybe the most important. If you always see yourself as a person learning English, you'll always feel like you're outside the language, looking in. But what if you told yourself this instead? I'm someone who thinks and speaks in English. That mental identity shift creates a whole new set of expectations and habits. You start to act like someone who already owns the language. You speak up more. You translate less. You think faster. Because you're no longer trying to become fluent, you're living it already. Language is identity. The more you align with English, the less you feel like a visitor, and the more you feel at home. Mental shift number 5. It's not about speed, it's about comfort. Some people think fluent English means speaking fast, but speed isn't fluency. Comfort is. If you can express your ideas clearly, confidently, and without needing to go through another language, you're fluent, even if you speak slowly. So stop pressuring yourself to speak like a native. Instead, aim for thinking comfortably in English. The speed will come with time. These mental shifts are the foundation of fluency. They help you create a new mental operating system, one that isn't built on translation, but trust. Trust in your thoughts, trust in your voice, trust in your brain's ability to learn. And once your mind is ready, your mouth will follow. Number 5. Immersion without leaving home. One of the biggest myths in language learning is this: you can only think in English if you live in an English-speaking country. That's not just wrong, it's limiting. Because the truth is, your environment doesn't need to be physical. It needs to be mental. Yes, living in the UK, the US, or Canada might help. But if you're surrounded by English speakers and still stuck translating in your head, then geography doesn't solve the problem. What matters is what your brain hears, sees, and interacts with every single day. And the good news? You can create that immersion from anywhere. Strategy number 1. Control what enters your brain. Your brain adapts to whatever it sees most. So, if 90% of your input is in your native language, TV, social media, books, conversations, then your brain stays wired to that language. To start thinking in English, you need to change the input. Set your phone and apps to English. Watch Netflix with English audio and English subtitles. Follow English-speaking creators on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Listen to podcasts or audiobooks in English daily. Don't treat English content like a special lesson. Treat it like your default. Even if you don't understand everything, your brain will start picking up rhythm, tone, phrasing, and eventually, thought patterns. This is passive immersion, and it works. Strategy number 2. Speak to yourself out loud or in your head. You don't need a speaking partner to practice thinking in English. One of the best ways is to talk to yourself. Seriously, narrate your actions. I'm brushing my teeth. I forgot my keys again. This coffee tastes amazing. It feels silly at first, but it works. You're forcing your brain to generate thoughts in English without translation. And that repetition builds fluency. Even thinking silently in English helps. Ask yourself, what time is it? Or, what do I need to do today? In English instead of your native language. Every time you catch yourself translating, switch back. It's like building a mental habit loop. The more you practice, the more automatic it becomes. Strategy number 3. Write your world in English. Journaling. In English is like thinking on paper. It helps you slow down your thoughts and notice how you express yourself. Start with a sentence or 2 a day. Today was stressful. I had too much work. I talked to my friend about our vacation plans. Don't worry about grammar. Don't worry about mistakes. This isn't a test. It's training for your brain. You can even use apps like Notion, Google Docs, or just a notebook. Keep it simple, keep it daily, and watch your thoughts evolve in English. Strategy number 4. Label your life. Grab sticky notes and label the objects around your house in English. Mirror, light switch. Kitchen cabinet. It seems basic, But seeing those words every day reinforces English as the default. And when you see those objects, your brain starts associating them with English, not with your native language. This turns your home into a living flashcard. Strategy number 5, create a micro-English world. If your real-world environment is mostly in another language, create a small English-only zone in your day. Even 30 minutes is enough. During that time, only read or watch English content. Only think or speak in English. Mute your native language notifications if possible. This mental separation gives your brain space to rewire. And soon, that 30 minutes will feel more natural than your regular routine. Language immersion isn't about location. It's about exposure and repetition. You don't need a plane ticket. You need intention. You need habits. You need to let English in consistently. And the more you do, the more English becomes not something you learn, but something you live. Number 6, thought training exercises. So you've created your English environment. You're watching, listening, reading, and even thinking in English more often. That's amazing. But now you need to go deeper, because fluency doesn't just come from exposure, it comes from deliberate thought practice. Just like you train your muscles at the gym, you can train your brain to think in English more naturally and automatically. Let's break down the thought training exercises that actually work and how to use them every single day. Exercise number 1. Name everything around you. This is the simplest habit, but incredibly powerful. Wherever you are, look around and name what you see in English. Chair, table, window, call, car, tree, blue sky. Then try adding a little more detail. That's a wooden table. The sky is cloudy and gray. This coffee smells amazing. Why this works? You're practicing retrieval. You're forcing your brain to reach for English words in real time. And that creates stronger mental connections between thoughts and language. Bonus, do this silently in your head when you're in public. Nobody knows you're training. Exercise number 2, practice self-talk. Throughout the day. This one feels awkward at first, but it's a game changer. Talk to yourself in English. Out loud when possible, silently if needed. You can narrate what you're doing. I'm putting my shoes on. What you're feeling. I'm nervous about this meeting. What you're planning. After lunch, I'll go for a walk. You're not just learning vocabulary, you're simulating real-world conversation. You're preparing your mind to respond quickly in English without going through a translator. And yes, it's okay if it's slow or simple. That's how fluency builds. Exercise number 3, mini monologues. Once a day, give yourself a topic and speak for 1 to 2 minutes in English. You can record yourself or just talk. Topics can be my weekend plans. The last movie I watched. What I would do if I won the lottery. Don't write a script. Don't aim for perfect grammar. Just speak. If you get stuck, keep going. Use gestures, rephrase, use simple words. Your goal is to keep the thought flowing, even if it's messy. This trains you to stay in English, even when it's hard. Exercise number 4, thought journaling. Every night or morning, write a few sentences about your day. But here's the twist. Don't let yourself translate. Write what comes to mind, even if the grammar's wrong or the vocabulary's basic. Let your thoughts move directly onto the page in English. Over time, you'll see patterns. You'll use new words naturally. You'll stop translating because your thoughts will already be shaped in English. Bonus, go back and reread old journal entries to see your progress. Exercise number 5, English-only problem solving. Choose small daily decisions and think them through in English. Example, what should I cook tonight? Should I go to the gym or rest? How do I respond to this message? Answer those questions in your head using English only. This pushes your brain to reason and analyze in your target language. This is advanced level thinking, and it dramatically accelerates your internal fluency. Combine exercises with daily routines. Don't wait for free time. Connect these exercises to things you already do. While brushing your teeth, narrate your day. While walking, name things around you. During breakfast, give a mini monologue before bed. Write 3 sentences in a journal. This turns English into a lifestyle, not a separate task. Fluency is the result of thousands of micro decisions your brain makes every day. The more often you train those decisions in English, the more natural it becomes. And these exercises, they're like push-ups for your English brain. You don't need a textbook, you just need your thoughts and the decision to use them in English. Number 7, speaking practice that builds real fluency. You've been training your brain to think in English. You've been practicing naming things, self-talk, and thought journaling. Now it's time to put that thinking into action. Because fluency isn't just in your head, it's in your mouth. But here's the key. Most people try to jump into conversations without preparing for the real pressure of speaking. That's like trying to run a marathon without stretching. So in this section, I'll show you how to build speaking routines that prepare your brain and your voice, step by step. Strategy number 1, talk before you need to. Most people wait for a conversation to happen, but by then, your brain is already panicking. Instead, start by speaking before the conversation. Prepare mentally. Imagine you're going to the grocery store. Say out loud, I need to buy eggs, milk, and bread. I'll ask where the apples are. You're meeting someone new. Practice. Hi, I'm Alex. Nice to meet you. By rehearsing ahead of time, your brain already knows what to expect. This builds confidence and makes the real interaction feel easier. Strategy number 2, shadowing practice. This is one of the most powerful techniques for fluency. Pick a short video clip, 1 to 2 minutes, a YouTube interview, movie scene, podcast segment. Then, play a sentence, pause. Repeat it out loud exactly like the speaker. Match the rhythm, tone, even their emotion. You're not just practicing pronunciation, you're syncing your brain with native speaking patterns. It's like karaoke, but for fluency. Do 5 minutes a day, and you'll be amazed how fast your confidence grows. Strategy number 3, use AI. Speaking partners, don't have someone to practice with? No problem. There are now amazing AI tools that let you practice real conversations at any time. You can simulate job interviews, role-play daily situations, get feedback on pronunciation or word usage. Tools like ChatGPT, Elsa Speak, or Language AI. Chat apps can help you speak more, hesitate less, and get corrections without judgment. It's private, it's flexible, and it gives you the safe space to experiment and grow. Strategy number 4, real conversations, low pressure. Eventually, you need real practice with real people, but that doesn't mean high-stakes interviews or debates. Start with simple exchanges. Language exchange partners online. Try HelloTalk, Tandem, or Speaky. Bunch of 5-minute video calls once a week, casual texting in English. Set one rule: don't aim for perfection, aim for connection. Even small chats train your fluency, and each time you survive the awkward moment, your brain gains confidence. Strategy number 5: speak even when you're alone. This one's underrated. Just talk out loud to yourself. Recap your day. Explain how you're feeling. Give a fake TED Talk about your favorite movie. The point isn't perfection, it's momentum. The more you use English aloud, the less your brain hesitates when you need it most. Build a speaking routine. Want real results? Create a simple daily routine. Example: morning. Self-talk while getting ready, 5 minutes. Afternoon, shadowing practice, 5 minutes. Evening, AI conversation or mini monologue, 5 to 10 minutes. That's less than 20 minutes a day, but it gives your brain repeated, low-pressure speaking exposure that rewires your fluency. Remember, fluency is a muscle. If you only think in English, it's like going to the gym and never picking up a weight. You've got to speak, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's imperfect. And with consistent practice, you'll stop hesitating. You'll stop translating. You'll just speak. Number 8. Motivation and consistency tips. Let's be real. Learning to think in English takes time. And like any long-term goal, there will be days when you feel stuck, frustrated, or tempted to give up. That's normal. But here's the truth. The people who become fluent aren't the smartest or the fastest learners. They're the most consistent. So let's talk about how to stay motivated, not just for a week, but for the long haul. Tip number 1. Focus on progress, not perfection. It's easy to fall into the trap of wanting to sound like a native speaker, but that's the fastest way to feel like you're failing, because fluency isn't black or white. It's a spectrum. Instead of aiming to be perfect, track small wins. You had a full thought in English today? That's progress. You didn't translate for 5 minutes? Huge win. You made a mistake but kept talking? You're growing. Write down these wins. Celebrate them. They're proof that your brain is changing. Tip number 2. Set micro goals. Big goals are inspiring, but they can also be overwhelming. So break them down. Instead of, I want to speak English fluently, say, I'll speak out loud for 2 minutes today. I'll write 3 sentences in my English journal. I'll do 5 minutes of shadowing after lunch. These tiny actions are easy to start, and once you start, momentum takes over. Tip number 3. Use habit pairing. Want to make English a daily habit? Pair it with something you already do. While brushing your teeth, self-talk in English. While cooking, describe the steps in English. While walking, name things around you in English. This makes practice automatic. You don't have to find time, you just attach English to your life. Tip number 4. Find your why on tough days. Motivation fades. That's why you need something deeper than just, I want to learn English. Ask yourself, why does English matter to me? To travel? To get a better job? To connect with more people? Write your reason down. Keep it where you can see it. When you're tired or discouraged, remind yourself why you started. Tip number 5. Surround yourself with support. Language learning is easier when you don't feel alone. Join online communities, follow English learning creators, talk to other learners, Share your progress. Even a single "me too" from someone going through the same struggle can recharge your motivation. And if you're ever doubting yourself, come back to this video. You're not doing this alone. Learning to think in English isn't a sprint. It's a journey of rewiring your brain. Some days will be easy, some will be hard, but every day counts. Every small effort adds up. Every mistake teaches you. Every minute you spend practicing English is building something bigger. And here's the best part. You're already doing it. Number 9. Final mindset. Rewire, you are already ready. Okay, let's pause for a second. You've made it this far in the video. You've learned about why translating holds you back, how to build fluency through thought, speaking, habits, and mindset. And now, I want to tell you something that might surprise you. You are already ready. Seriously. Most English learners wait for a magical moment when everything feels easy, when they suddenly feel fluent, confident, perfect. But that moment doesn't exist, not the way you imagine it. Fluency doesn't arrive with fireworks. It builds quietly, underneath your doubts. Every time you think in English instead of translating, you're becoming fluent. Every time you speak, even imperfectly, you're becoming fluent. The only thing missing is your permission to believe it. You don't need to master 10,000 words before you're allowed to think in English. You don't need to sound like a native speaker to call yourself fluent. Fluency isn't perfection, it's presence. It's being able to communicate your thoughts, your feelings, your ideas, even if it's simple, even if it's slow. And you can do that right now. So here's your final mindset shift. Stop waiting to feel ready. Start acting like someone who already is. Think in English today. Speak in English today. Trust yourself today. Because fluency doesn't come from a textbook. It comes from within. And from everything you've just learned, I hope you see it clearly. You've already started. You don't need to move to an English-speaking country. You don't need perfect grammar. You don't need to memorize thousands of words. What you do need is to stop translating and start trusting yourself. In this video, you learned why translating slows down your speech and creates hesitation, what it really means to think in English, how to build powerful mental habits and daily thought exercises, how to create immersion right where you are, and how to speak fluently with real confidence. But more than anything, I hope you remember this. You're not waiting to become fluent. You're already becoming it. Every moment you think in English, you are reprogramming your mind for fluency. Keep going, keep showing up, keep speaking, no matter how messy it feels. And if this video helped you even a little, give it a like, drop a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. I've got more videos coming to help you unlock your real fluency, one thought at a time. Thanks for watching. Now go think in English.